If you've got a Ninja Creami, you already know the magic of turning everyday ingredients into smooth ice cream-like desserts. But not all protein powders are Creami-friendly. Some freeze into chalky bits, others separate, and others just taste off when churned. The good news? We've tasted and tested and researched dozens of proteins to find the top 3 that actually work. Each one is a winner in its category. So whether you want the cleanest formula, the lowest carbs, or a plant-based option, or the best value, we've got you covered. Protein powders behave differently when frozen. Some isolates mix seamlessly into a nice smooth base, while others leave a gritty, crystallized texture behind. So here are the key factors we use to choose the best protein powder. So the first is texture after freezing. Does it stay smooth when you scoop it, or does it turn into an icy, flaky mess? The second is mixability. Does it blend smoothly before freezing? Third, flavor. Does it taste good after you freeze it? Next, ingredient profile. Is it minimal ingredients, high in protein, and low in artificial sweeteners and sugars? And lastly, value and trust. What is the cost per serving, and what is the brand's transparency? And here's a pro tip. Some of the best protein powders still need a little bit like a binder such as xanthan gum, maybe a nut butter, to really give it that ice cream shop creamy texture. Transparent Labs grass-fed whey protein isolate is one of the cleanest and best performing proteins across the board. It dissolves easily, it freezes smooth, and retains its taste after churning and after freezing. And because it's an isolate, it's low on lactose, so it generally sits well in the stomach. So here are the top 3 reasons of why Transparent Labs is a great protein powder to use in the Ninja Creami. Number 1, it's extremely mixable, meaning it does not clump up when mixing it before the freezing step. Number 2, it maintains its creaminess after freezing. And number 3, the versatility of the flavors of the protein stand up to the freezing and churning process, so it gives you a lot of options and variability based on the flavor profile. Some pros of the protein powder itself is that it has 28 grams of protein per scoop. It's extremely low carb with 0 to 1 gram of carbs per serving. It's third-party tested, and it has a wide range of flavor options. Now with those positives, it does have some negatives. Number 1 is price point and cost per serving. And another con here is that it does have a slightly thinner texture, so you can sometimes add a little bit to it, like a nut butter or a fruit, just to give it some more texture. So for this one, if you're looking to make a scoopable pint, you want to use 1 scoop of the protein, 10 to 12 ounces of dairy milk or almond milk, and then a ½ teaspoon of xanthan gum. That will give it a really smooth texture that's very scoopable. So once you have all that mixed up, you'll just freeze it overnight and spin it up the next day. Perfect Sports Diesel Whey Protein is the definition of a very lean protein powder. With about 27 grams of protein per serving, 0 grams of carbs, and 0 grams of fat, this is almost entirely all protein in every single scoop. This makes the diesel protein powder one of the purest forms of protein out there, which is ideal for those who are trying to really dial in their macros. Whether that's for cutting, keto, or just really trying to dial in your macros to make sure we're getting the most amount of protein with the least amount of excess calories. So here are some reasons why the Perfect Sports Diesel grass-fed whey protein isolate is great in the Ninja Creami. Because this protein powder is so refined, it does not get gritty and the texture does not get chalky when you use it. The ultra clean profile also means that it won't have fats or sugars in there that will crystallize during the freezing process. And lastly, the wide flavor lineup, whether it's cookies and cream, chocolate peanut butter, they all allow you to have fun and creative flavor options while keeping your macros tight. So the pros of this protein powder is that it's over 90+% of calories from protein. Next is grass-fed whey, New Zealand sourced. For sweetening, they use stevia, it's a natural sweetener. And lastly, it has a wide range of isolate flavors. With those pros does come some cons. Because it is such a lean protein, it is a little bit thinner of a texture. So we want to make sure that we'll use some sort of a xanthan gum or a nut butter or even a fruit to give it a little bit of a thickening agent. And lastly, the stevia taste isn't for everyone. A creamy tip when using this protein powder is to add a little bit of Greek yogurt, 1 to 2 tablespoons. You can give it a little bit more of a protein boost and add some smoothness and thickening to the texture. And if that doesn't work, again, you can use a pinch of xanthan gum or even some nut butters there to give it a little bit more thickening and texture to give it that ice cream shop feel. This is a great protein powder if you want to have a very smooth protein powder that you can use for the Ninja Creami without the premium price tag. The MyProtein Impact is a great option. It's very affordable, comes in a ton of flavors out there, and it mixes well. So here are the top 3 reasons of why the MyProtein Impact whey protein powder is great for the Ninja Creami. The first one is that it mixes very well with milk bases. Second, it has a lot of flavor options like salted caramel, cookies and cream to really add some fun and variety to your creative creamy choices. And lastly, it's slightly thicker than the other options, so it does give it a little bit more body and texture. Some pros about this protein is that it's very affordable. There are a lot of flavor options out there to add variety to your creamy recipes, and it's pretty easy to find deals and discounts on this protein powder. Now, some limitations of MyProtein Impact is going to be it's not as clean as some of the other sources out there, so there might be a little bit extra sugars, artificial sweeteners. There's going to be some extra fats and carbs, and because of that, some flavors do taste a little bit artificial. Creamy tips for MyProtein Impact Whey is going to be stick to the classic flavors. Vanilla, chocolate. You can always document them up yourself by drizzling other things on there. You really want to avoid overly sweet ones because as you freeze them, the sweetness will intensify. So the first step is to mix the base. You're gonna take 1 scoop of whey protein powder and then anywhere between 10 and 12 ounces of either dairy milk, almond milk, oat milk, whatever your preference is. And you can even add 1 to 2 tablespoons of Greek yogurt if you like to add a little bit more protein or a little bit more texture. Now you can also add a half teaspoon of xanthan gum. That helps to give it a little bit more creaminess. So if you're unsure if you're using maybe an option that's super clean and super lean, that might be a great way to thicken it up a little bit. So the second step here is to flavor it. Now you don't have to do this. You could just roll with the flavor you have, but this is where you could add a little bit extra flavoring. Maybe you want to add some cocoa powder or some peanut butter, honey, whatever you'd like to put in there. This is that step now. Next, once that's all blended up, we're then going to freeze it. You're gonna put it in the freezer, in the Creami, in the container, and you're going to freeze it overnight, 12 hours, up to 24 hours. So now that you've frozen it for 12 to 24 hours, you're gonna take it out of the freezer, you're gonna put it into your Ninja Creami, you're gonna spin that thing up either on the light ice cream mode or the ice cream mode. Now, the light ice cream mode, you wanna just do it 1 time, and that's gonna be for something if it's really lean, so maybe like your 𝗕𝗂𝗃 or your transparent labs. And then the 5th step is you either need to respin or you can go on the mix-in mode. So if it is a little crumbly, when you first initially take it out, you can put it back in and hit respin. And if it's fine, but you want to add some mix-in, so maybe you want to do some crushed Oreos or some candies to add a little bit of sweetness, or maybe some marshmallows, whatever you'd like to do, you would sprinkle it in there and then you would hit the mix-in option. And voila, just like that, you've made your first scoopable pint of whey protein Ninja Creami ice cream. The Ninja Creami can transform your protein routine if you choose the right protein powder. So for someone who's looking for the most well-balanced and overall best protein powder out there for the Ninja Creami, check out the Transparent Labs grass-fed whey. Now, if you're somebody who's looking for the highest amount of protein by calories, then it's unbeatable with the Perfect Sports diesel grass-fed whey protein. And lastly, if you're on a budget and you're looking for an affordable option that still offers great mixability and a lot of flavor options, then check out MyProtein Impact grass-fed whey. The best thing about all 3 of these is that you can experiment with bases such as different types of milks, mix-ins, and additions of flavorings to create your own ice cream profile. With the right protein powders, your creamy creations will taste like dessert while still delivering the nutrition you need.